coronavirus. What is a corona? It has two meanings, as far as I can find when I look it up in the dictionary. One is the light around the sun. You are that sun, that essence, with a big corona around you. Could we begin to think of coronavirus as the virus that has come to teach you about your corona? About your radiance? The other meaning of corona is crown. For a long time, you have lived in a more male energy oriented world. Everybody has both male and female energy. But the male energy of power and control has been dominant for many, many centuries. So we could also see coronavirus as a virus to that crown, a virus that has come intended to help break down that more masculine orientation of power and control and bring you back into your heart, bring the whole world back into its heart. We're back to the power, kindness, holding it in the palm of your hand and knowing it will go. There's nothing you can hold on to forever, except the essence of your being, and you do not hold on to that. You simply are that. This is your truth. This is what you are. So I find it interesting that this has been labeled coronavirus. I know it's because of the appearance of the virus, but it still could have been called floret virus or something else. What can this virus bring you? What gifts does it bring? Perhaps if you reflect deeply on those gifts, there will not be so much fear. Fear is a conditioned object, arising when the conditions are present, impermanent and not self. That which is aware of fear is not afraid. Coming back to this awakened essence of yourself. And still watching the human be afraid. It's okay if the human is afraid. Cherish the human. It's natural that the human will know fear. It's natural to know fear. You don't have to get caught in the stories of fear. And this is where your Dharma practice comes in. When Barbara was meditating this morning, she became deeply centered in her body and could feel how her body was reacting as if it was being attacked. Physical, emotional, all the bodies. She could feel the shaking of that attack through her whole body. Everything contracted. She worked with it, practiced with it for 5 or 10 minutes. Each time she centered a little bit, took a breath, and then suddenly the shakiness of fear was back. She did some chanting. That helped to quiet her. She meditated with some imagery in her mind of a river flowing. That quieted the contracted energy. She realized, I do not have control over what will come to me, but over how I relate to it. Again, that which is aware of fear is not afraid, coming deeper into the awareness. But the whole body was moving through so many contractions, small contractions, not terror. And she's not afraid of death, but contracting. Really the human organism, the mammal, reacting with what a mammal does, the cells contracting when feeling threatened. So she began to speak lovingly to the mammal. Hello, mammal. You know that eventually you will go, and everything you know and love will go. You can live your life being caught up in the stories of fear, or you can know them as stories and choose not to be thusly caught. You can speak to the mammal that you are with love. Comfort to the mammal. Go and get a cup of hot tea and a fresh cookie, if that helps. Or call a friend and just maybe chant together for a few minutes. Whatever helps to open your heart, to bring you home to the one who was awake. Come back into the awakened heart. This is the only way to address the conditioning that's really there on a cellular level when the body is contracting with fear. When the cells themselves are contracting with fear. In the Dharma Path class, we've been talking so much about living from the bridge, not off in the relative world and lost there, and not trying to hide out in the ultimate plane, but being in the bridge where you can attend the relative world and still be grounded in the ultimate, grounded in love. Barbara finally realized that she was trying to stop the body and the cells of the body from being a body, from that energy that was coming up, because there is a anxiety and threat. She got herself back onto the bridge, was able to spend maybe half an hour with pure awareness meditation, resting in a place of spaciousness and ease and joy. Then she realized she needed to get up. She is Al home now, and while there is a caretaker for him, she also needs to attend to him. So she went into the room where he's sleeping, the living room. Her heart was filled with love for him. And then, right away in that moment, but we could all die tomorrow. Fear? It's not really about death. It's really the anxiety. I have no control. Remember, he's just been home for one day after 2 years of living in a nursing home. So he was feeling disoriented. He was very fearful. And for a moment, well, more than a moment, for a minute or two, she caught his fear. And then she stopped and she just sat down next to him. He was in bed. She took his hand. She laid her head on his chest and he wrapped his arm around her, putting his hand over her head. And she thought to herself, how many lifetimes have we been together like this with love? How many more lifetimes might we be together? Everything in the conditioned realm is conditioned. She suddenly realized she did not need to try to fix the body and the set of contractions in the energy field of the body, but to hold them with love, kindness. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go. so that you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. You must know kindness is the deepest thing inside, and know sorrow is the other deepest thing. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Kindness to yourselves, to allow yourselves to experience the energetic pulsations of fear without getting caught in the stories of fear. Fear is just fear. It's arisen from conditions, and you must acknowledge in this moment there is fear. Fear mostly because you feel you have so little control of what may happen next. There is anger, there is sadness. They have arisen from conditions. They are impermanent. Your practice is not to get caught in their stories. Then you can rest in the spaciousness of the loving heart and still allow the human to be a human, not to expect yourself to be superhuman. I think it's that expectation more than anything else that gets you lost in the stories of fear, because you're not able to just hold yourself and embrace yourself and your fear and your sorrow.